Playing, you guessed it, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered.
Don't pass up these goods.
Take a look at these wares.
Won't cost you a shard.
Would you like to buy something today?
I've got all the best goods.
Hunters, scroungers, bring us your metal.
Don't pass up these goods.
I brought you both the parts. So, what do you say?
I don't suppose I could buy just the one.
You'd buy the wrong one. So give the hunter her shards for both.
Of course. Here you are. If this is the price I have to pay.
The price you have to pay? The Snapmaw lens might just cover the loss we take on the other.
It won't sell for a loss, charcoal burner. You'd pay handsomely for a long leg lens if you had an imagination.
I have an imagination. When you rattle that piece of junk around, I think of your skull.
I told you from the beginning this wouldn't be a scrap-dealing operation, that we would have class.
And I told you, a true metal seller knows to get his hands dirty.
As you wipe machine oil on my silks.
Who wears a silk apron to the metal markets?
I do.
A woman atop the
Won't cost you a shard.
Pass up these goods.
Aaron said to meet him at the Sun Palace. That might be the time.
Just like them is too damn soft.
Here's what I don't get about the sundial. All these fancy decorations.
This barrel's been moved recently. There we go. Tracks.
These aren't good. They're necessities.
Never know when I might need these. Spoiled fruit. The rabbits seem to like it, though. Oh, look. The thief dropped more fruit for me to follow. If I can see it in all this grass. Stocking up. Is this the last of the fruit? Okay, boars, out of the way so I can have a look. Trail of footprints this time. Must have climbed up.
Father, son, forgive me, forgive me!
There's our thief, and he's in trouble. This grapes.
Thank you, Savage! You saved me from the sun's judgment.
I did what now?
I left the misery of Sunfall not long ago, knowing that I'd never be welcome back in Meridian. So, I've been stealing food from a woman at Bright Market just to survive. But the Glinthawks must be the judgment of the sun.
You believe it attacked you because you were stealing.
Why else? What if I beg forgiveness from the lady? Will that absolve me and save me from the Glinthawks?
I took care of the Glinthawks, but yes, you should return and apologize. The woman you stole from is kind. She'll forgive you.
The sun has spoken! Thank you again, Savage. May the sun light your way!
Great. People finally stopped calling me outcast, and now it's Savage.
Let me check. Tall mix 5, 500 grounds, Bandit Camp 6, 4 cauldrons, 11 cryptid zones, 6 flowers, 3, okay. Quest 20 main quest side, 22 side quests, errands 10, there's 14 errands total. Huh. Wait a minute. Yeah. There's the whole shadow cartridge shit. But I gotta wait till I progress the main quest for that.
Be fascinating if they weren't looking for me.
Okay, so I need to find that.
That area back there. I wonder if I can find a way into it now that I'm older. Another power cell. This should help me get to that ancient armor. You saw the thief make a run for it?
My back was to the wall, you see? Wasn't expecting someone to crawl out the window. He ran past me, dressed in gray, clutching the sword. That's all I saw. By the sun, my heart nearly seized up.
She's the last of her house.
Belts, feathers, cobbled together weapons. You can always
The thief broke the lattice on the way out. Drops of blood leading away. No blood. I'm still on the trail.
Should be out there fighting machines, not pacing around.
Still more blood. The thief got cut. Trail ends here. Someone must have seen the thief. Did someone run past here, holding a sword?
Sure did. He grabbed some linen off the stand here and took off down the stairs behind you. He was bleeding, so maybe he needed a binding. Blast it! That was expensive cloth. I can't believe I paid for that thief's bandage.
A woman atop the Hunter's Lodge?
If the thief came this way, there's only one way he could have gone. Forward. No sign of the thief. Someone must have seen him go by. Did you see anyone run through here? He would have been holding a sword.
Yeah. Almost crashed into me, too. He ran down the parapet here and went down the lift. No way he'll catch him now. I didn't see a sword, though.
He wasn't carrying anything.
Not a damn thing. Just ran like his ass was on fire.
The thief must have ditched the sword. But where? Maybe he had help. That merchant stall would have been a convenient drop-off.
Got a pair of sturdy Oseron hands. I know how to put them to use. They'll always be working.
It looks like the thief got away, but without the sword. I thought maybe he dropped it off somewhere. Like here, for instance?
What? No. I had nothing to do with this.
I guess we'll see when I get the city guard to toss your stall and question your customers.
Hold on. There's more to this. You've got a reputation for shining light in the darkness, so I know you'll listen. You're right. The sword was passed to me, and I passed it on to someone else. It's going to be sold, but not for profit. The shards will go to people in need.
You expect me to believe that?
I can prove it. Meet my friends at the watermill in the lower village. They'll explain everything. If they don't convince you, come right back with the guards. I'm not going anywhere.
It wouldn't matter if you did. I'd find you. But all right. I'll check out the watermill. Okay. Guess I should go to this watermill then to find out what's going on. He's waiting at the Sun Palace. Maybe I should check on him.
place in the order of things.
I told you.
Machines or bandits try to get past me.
Saving these for the trail.
One of these days, I'm gonna look him in the face and tell him I'm quit.
I was told to expect you, Aloy. I suppose you want answers. Well, it's not complicated. We collect valuable objects from people who don't need them, sell them for shards, and use the money to help the needy at Sunfall.
You mean you steal?
If you want to call it that. From hogs who've had their turn at the trough for generations.
Ravon didn't seem like a hog to me.
He stinks just like the rest of them, of wealth and contentment, while people beneath him suffer.
Who exactly gets the shards at Sunfall?
Not the bastards in the fortress. We use the shards to make sure the poor in Shadowside get to eat, or bandage their wounds. They only went west because they had to. Trust me, I know. My wife was chained up with a bunch of servants and herded with them. They starved to death, still bound together.
I'm sorry.
So am I.
Where's the sword now?
Safe. I haven't sold it yet.
Thank you for watching. I appreciate you.
What do you expect me to do now? Walk away?
I was hoping you'd help us. They say you can track like a stalker. Well, my partner Nassan disappeared near the branded shore. He was bound for Sunfall, along with an entire shipment of food. If you found that, you'd be helping a lot of people.
I'll consider it. But only if you return the sword to Ravon.
I knew you were gonna say that. Fine, I'll return the damn blade. Nassan was supposed to meet his contact at an old campfire on the fork near the branded shore. Start looking there. But be careful. Lots of machines out there, and lots of Shadow Carja. And not the needy kind, but they're tormentors.
Damn monster stirring up tensions.
Ugh, sorry, I'm having slight sinus issues. Ba 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 ba.
These will keep. A fork. This must be where Nassan was supposed to check in. Looks like there was a scuffle here. If someone dragged Nassan off, there should be tracks. Oh, here we are. Let's see where they went. The Shadow Carja outpost. Let's hope Nassan is inside.
By the sun, get down! That hurt! You've provoked the sun's rage. Tomorrow, or by the sun! Let this strike him.
We've got Nassan, all right. He needs help.
Get it together, you sawed-offs! Let this be.
Where's the guy? Fuck.
Kindeev sent me. Let's get you out of here.
I thought that old salt had abandoned me. Guess I owe him a slap on the back. Come on, this way.
Kindeev told me about the cause. Did you lose the shipment?
No. It's hidden nearby. There's a lot of hungry people in Sunfall that will be happy to see it.
Good. Now, listen. When you head back to Meridian, talk to a noble named Ravan. If you're honest with him, I think he'll help.
Beg a high blood for help? But after everything you've done, I can't refuse. But for now, I'm bound for Sunfall. Be safe.
Won't find better wares. Come take a look. I'll give you a good price. Come take a look.
A man named Nissan came to see me, and we came to an arrangement. I think many in Sunfall will benefit from it. All this from a stolen sword. As they say, follow the shadow, and you'll find a flame.
Right where he said it would be. Not a bad selection. I'll put those to use. Why are you doing this?
Because I want you to succeed. Good hunting. We'll talk later.
Wait! Damn him. Eclipse, just like he said.
Forged dirt delvers made off with any riches long ago, but not the ancients buried in the ground.
What? How the fuck did that not kill him? What the fuck?
Over here! It's her!
Yep, you got some alright. Nass whooping!
They're massive. She went that way.
Got him over here!
An explosion. Another explosion.
Rotate turret! And fire! All weapons operational. Time to get it moving, and be quick about it. No daydreaming. Soon this demon will be up and running. Another death river to fill out. Focus. It's not working.
I've disabled his focus. The rest is up to you.
I'll handle it. Steam's blasting out. I wonder if those are weak points. Did it. Those things pack a punch. All right. The Eclipse officer had a focus. Let's see what's on it. Let's see what you have to say. What is this?
The entity lives. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
What the hell was that? Hades? Hey! Mysterious stranger, did you see that? Nope. No answer, huh? Figures. Things just keep getting stranger. I need to find...
Hold for identiscan.
One of these again.
Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Greetings, Dr. Sobek. Please step inside.
Is when the plot really picks up.
Dr. Sobek, you are 355,510 days overdue for your meeting with Mr. Farrell. Please proceed to the 35th floor.
Wait. 350,000. That's hundreds of years ago. What's going on? Forget about traveling light.
Okay, I don't have the... I think you pretty much have to get this, so I'm not worried about it.
A Deathbringer. Or a statue of one, anyway. A machine built to kill. And they honored it?
Welcome to Faro Automated Solutions, where all the problems of tomorrow are being solved today. With over 25,000 human employees based in nations and corporate holdings across the globe, Faro leads the world in every sector of self-sustaining, fully automated technology. From revolutionary consumer products close to home, like the Faro Focus, to the dynamic Chariot line of...
What was this place? What were they doing here?
Oh, that's hilarious. She was born March 11th, 2020.
It was a corporation. A group of people not unlike a tribe. And they made machines.
Yeah, go on.
I've uploaded some data files to your focus. They'll help you understand.
Now I know this must seem like a bizarre change. I mean, we're Faro Automated Solutions, right? #1 robotics firm in the world. Why would we clear our production slate to fabricate human-operated vehicles and weapon systems, the relics of the past? All I can say at this juncture is... trust me, we will be exploiting a massive, growth opportunity by retooling and reallocating capacity according to my plan.
So they were making machines. Then they stopped to make other kinds of weapons. Why? The air. There's no smell to it. Not even old death. Nothing natural.
The Zero Dawn shit is incredibly fucking great. And it's the part of this game that's the best, most well-written part. And Ted Faro, the man that set all this shit into motion, is written as an incredibly complicated and nuanced, tragic figure. All the team members are fleshed out and well done. The history behind it, what caused it, their actions during it, like, are the best parts by far of this game's story, and it takes this long to get to them. And obviously I was doing a bunch of side quests, but still, you're like, let's see, let's look at statistics. There's 22 main quests in this game. So you're like halfway through the main quest before you even start to understand what the fuck Zero Dawn is. That's literally on the name of the game. But fuck, once you meet, it just picks up. You start to understand why. Like I said, the stuff in this game is incredibly compelling. With Zero Dawn, you start going into it frequently. Silence is the best character in this game and becomes a freaking part of the game right now. And it sucks that a lot of people gave up on this game before they could ever see the part that really got great. And I will say this, they wisely realized that because Forbidden West has a lot more of this stuff, and from right away. So they clearly are like, okay, this is the part that people like the most interesting part. Let's capitalize on that and make it the focus, which they did, and it was wise for them to do that because it made the game a lot better. I mean, that's not to say there's not a lot of New World stuff, but it's an even blend from the start instead of making you wait till halfway through the game before they even started going to it. It's more evenly incorporated.
Looks like I can climb here.
That's what's so fantastic about Forbidden West. They really took everything that was great about this game and fucking ran with it and made it better. It's still not perfect, but it went from being good but really rough around the edges to being fantastic with Forbidden West. And I can't wait for the third game, because if they improve it if the improvement from Forbidden West to the third game is as big as the improvement from the first game to the second, it'll be one of the all-time greatest games ever made ever. That's how good it'll be. Because we went from good but rough around the edges to fucking fantastic.
Looks like the way up.
With the sequel. So we make that jump again, we're looking at all-time great.
people were angry at Faro, at the corporation. They blamed this place for something. Something bad.
And they do such, like I said, it'd be so easy to make him a stock villain, and they do such a fantastic job of really showcasing him as a multifaceted character.
FXP5 Kopesh provides a one-size-fits-all solution to... The BOR-7 Horus. Imagine...
Yeah, they go into Horus.
The ACA-3 Scarab combines conventional and...
They go into that shit a lot later. And they double down on the sci-fi shit in the sequel. And it gets kind of really out there, but it's in a good way. Because, you know, they talk about these people that are really like Zenith, that are like Scientologists. In this game, it seems like they've tried to go to the moon and died. But then they reveal in Forbidden West that they actually managed to make it to the moon. And have spent their whole time on the moon refining their society, so it's like a crazy thing of Scientologists. And it sounds silly, but once again, the writing really elevates them. Because that's one thing that's really weak about this game, is the villains were kind of shitty. The villains in Forbidden West are a lot more memorable and fleshed out. And on top of which, the super far out sci-fi contrasts really well with the tribal shit that's at the heart of the normal world. So it creates a contrast, and I like it a lot. And they knew there was only so much they could continue to flesh out the backstory of Zero Dawn, so they had to add some more stuff to keep the sci-fi contingent of the plot going. And they did, and it worked out fucking brilliantly.
It's gonna be a long way up. Frozen metal most of the way. Not making this easy, Dr. Sobek. If plants can find a way to hang on up here, guess I can too.
Like, the sheer leap in quality from from Zero Dawn to Forbidden West is massive. Every single thing is better. The story is better. Much better characters, much better motivations, much more detail, much more fleshed out. Alloy's a better character, much more well-rounded and fleshed out. The gameplay is at least better in every fucking way. The progression systems, the world, the combat, the skill trees, like, I can't even...
Crisis that began when they engaged in unauthorized offensive operations against robots and human personnel of the Hearts Timor Energy Combine.
Peacekeepers. That's what they called their machines. They were built for war, not peace.
Well, sometimes you need weapons to keep the peace. And I mean, I know that sounds like, ooh, imperialist to me, but, okay? Fucking, a lot of the time, you need to have peace through fear of a threat, which you're not gonna get if you don't have the ability to defend yourself. True peace is when you have the means to seek violence and choose other recourse. The desire for peace without the will to fight for it is just weakness.
It's stopping. I can stop squinting against the white.
I disagree with Malcolm X on a lot of things, but I do really agree with some things he said. Namely, he said, a well-armed society is a polite society. If somebody knows that you're not going to take it lying over, they're much less likely to fuck with you and peace persists. Doesn't matter how good your intentions are, you will inevitably run into an asshole, and if you don't have the strength to fight to protect the people you love and the things you love, then you're going to lose them. Take nuclear proliferation and the concept of mutually assured destruction. Now, if I told you that you could have one of two things, you could either have somebody's word keeping nuclear armistice in check, or the notion that if they fucked with us, we would destroy them too. Which one would you feel more comfortable with? Obviously, us having those weapons. Doesn't mean that we're going to use them, but anytime you rely on the generosity of people for peace, it's a losing fucking proposition. You're fucked. Better not to.
Way up. All it takes is a few good handholds.
At all.
All right. Made it. Wonder what we'll find.
That makes sense. Hopefully it does. Not only that, but it just means a lot more. If somebody who can't fight chooses peace, they're not really choosing shit. They're just literally doing the only thing they can do.
Good. The new power cell. If I find more, I should be able to get to that ancient armor I found.
Somebody who could choose violence, but chooses peace instead, who's able to be violent and isn't, that's a choice that they made. You know, they could be a dick, and they're choosing not to. That's important. Those without the strength to make a choice will have their choice made for them. So concludes my TED Talk. Whee!
Data has been erased from this device. Do you wish to deploy item privileges to recover purged data?
Oh yes, I believe I do.
A file has been recovered.
Elizabeth, good to, it's been years.
Where's your legal team, Ted?
No need. I dropped all 18 lawsuits the moment you landed. I assume your data confirms this.
Alright, this promises to be interesting.
Perhaps we could have lunch brought in. You know, get reacquainted.
I know you, Ted. You screwed something up, something big, or you wouldn't have eaten the crow necessary to get me here. So, spit it out.
There's a glitch in the chariot line.
Your killer robots?
Peacekeepers, yes, those.
So shut them down.
Obviously, Liz, we would, if we could. They're not responding.
Are you telling me a swarm has gone rogue, Ted?
It's worse than that.
Show me the data then. And I'll take that lunch. Alone.
Ted Faro brought Elizabeth Sobek here, but they hated each other.
Another file has been recovered.
This isn't a glitch. It's a catastrophe.
It's bad.
Bad?
Jesus, Liz.
It's not bad, Ted. It's apocalyptic. You built a line of killer robots.
Peacekeepers.
That consume biomass as fuel.
In emergencies.
And you made them capable of self-replication.
Limited, self-manufacture, controlled.
Not anymore. The glitch severed chain of command. The only nation this swarm answers to now is itself.
You think I...
Everything else is just food. And at the rate it's replicating, Ted, it will strip the Earth bare in 15 months. We're not talking fall of civilization. We're talking extinction.
I get it, Liz. So how do I stop it while it's contained?
It's not contained. It can't be.
You know what I mean?
Right. Before the truth gets out, you mean?
Liz, I will do anything you say. Keep working it, and whatever you recommend, I'll do.
I'm gonna hold you to that, Ted.
The Faro robots threatened all life on Earth. But somehow she defeated them.
She didn't really.
The world of the old ones fell, but life went on, or we wouldn't be here.
A final Pharaoh has been recovered.
Project Zero Dawn. Jesus, Liz. There has to be another way.
If there were a nicer way to fix your mess, I would have proposed it.
But this? This? When I asked you to find a cure, I didn't expect it to be worse than the disease.
It's not, Ted. It may be grim, but it's our only chance. Now sign the proposal.
Sign it? I can't sign that.
Yes, you can.
That? Liz, I cannot in good conscience sign that.
You've got a choice, Ted.
I know.
I'm speaking to you from a VTOL en route to U.S. Robot Command. In 15 minutes, I meet with General Harris and the rest of the Joint Chiefs.
What? Are you crazy?
Now your choice is what I tell them. Sign, and I'll tell them the wealthiest corporation on Earth has guaranteed the funds necessary to build Zero Dawn. Exactly as I've designed it. Or don't sign, and I will make sure they and everyone else on this planet knows the real cause of the glitch.
Jesus, Liz. You don't have to threaten me. I'll sign.
Look on the bright side, Ted. From here on out, you get to do what you've always been good at. Footing the bill while others get their hands dirty.
God forgive me.
What made her solution so terrible? What did she do to stop the robots?
Executive access detected. Express left.
This doesn't add up. Sobek couldn't have been my mother. She lived ages ago. All this searching, and I'm still no closer.
That's your reaction to everything you've just learned? To whine like a spoiled child?
You should really try talking that way to me face to face.
As you wish. Do you really have no idea how monumental are the discoveries you just made, Aloy? I expected more of you.
R.I.P. Lance Riddick.
So, you have a face. Got a name to go with it?
Of all the questions you could ask right now, that's the one you choose. I've spent decades searching the ruins of the old ones, trying to solve the mystery of what happened to them. For years, I've suspected that Pharaoh robots destroyed their civilization, but I could never confirm it. And in minutes, you uncover more ancient knowledge than I have in a lifetime. And what you want to know is my name. Silence. That's my name. Now, why don't you try asking another question?
He fucking crushes this role.
You have no idea what I've been through. How hard it's been. My whole life, I grew up not knowing who I am or where I came from, and then come the Eclipse trying to kill me just because I look like this Elizabeth Sobek woman.
And they killed the man who raised you and you found in the mountain as a baby. I already know this through your focus.
The point is, every time I take a step forward, the answers slip farther from my grasp. You just don't understand.
It's not that I don't understand, Aloy. It's that I don't care. If the answers keep slipping away every step you take, then you best start running to catch up. Maybe then you'll realize just how big your problems really are.
What exactly are you talking about?
You've chased a personal riddle into a crowd of larger mysteries. The common thread is your connection to Elizabeth Sobek.
But what is that connection? She couldn't have been my mother if she lived centuries ago.
We don't know the connection yet. The only way to find out is to keep going, to keep making discoveries. Thanks to you, we've only just now learned that Pharaoh robots once threatened to end life on Earth.
But it didn't happen. The Old One's civilization was destroyed, but life was saved.
Obviously. So, what did Elizabeth do? How did she stop the robots before all was lost?
What was Project Zero Dawn?
Exactly the question. Now, are you ready to go get the answer?
Of course I am.
Then why are you still standing here?
Not so fast, Silence. You've got some explaining to do.
I've told you quite enough. If you've still got questions, be quick about it and stop wasting my time.
Who are you, Silence? What are your intentions?
You really need to make this personal? I'm a lone wanderer who left his tribe behind a long time ago. An explorer from many places, a searcher of lost knowledge. Exactly as I said.
Why do you know so much about the eclipse?
I happen to know a lot about a lot of things. If what you're really asking is whether I work for the Eclipse or anyone else, I don't. I'm nothing if not independent. Now, if that's enough talking, be on your way.
Oh no. I'm just getting started. You've been getting a free ride on my focus, risking nothing while I risk everything. All I have to do is take this thing off my head, and you'll be blind, deaf, and dumb. So quit complaining and answer my questions.
Very well. Proceed.
You've been using my focus to spy on me. How's that possible?
Every focus emits a signal, a voice that only other focuses can hear. I know how to string those voices together, how to make them talk to each other, to communicate, even over vast distances.
How do you learn to do that?
Years of study and experimentation. In principle, it's not so different from how you override machines.
All right now, hon.
I override focuses.
And you can spy through other Eclipse's focuses too.
Usually. All I'll say is that overriding the connections is complicated.
Is there any chance that Elizabeth Sobek could still be alive somehow?
It's highly unlikely, but not impossible. Some of the ancient data I've recovered includes mentions of life extension techniques. Pharmaceuticals mostly, an ancient word for medicine. But some were still trying to perfect ways of freezing and unfreezing people.
Freezing and unfreezing people?
Cryogenics, they called it. But there were problems with it. Given Elizabeth's technological acumen, I can't definitively rule out that she found a way to make herself immortal. But this is speculation. Wasting time.
So far as I can tell, the Eclipse are just following orders. It's Hades who wants me dead. Who is he?
I don't know. The Eclipse described him as a buried shadow, some kind of devil.
That thing that spoke to me outside, that made that focus explode. It was Hades. It didn't seem like a person or a machine. More like a phantom. With a terrible voice.
All that's certain is that he wants you dead.
Because of my connection to Elizabeth. Has to be.
Hades is using the Eclipse to resurrect Pharaoh robots.
But if Elizabeth found a way to stop them centuries ago, if she made special weapons, maybe Hades is worried I'll do the same thing.
In some of the ancient data I've recovered, there are hints of so-called super weapons being developed. Maybe to stop the robots, the civilization of the old ones had to destroy itself.
You said you've known for some time that Faro war machines destroyed the civilization of the old ones.
The evidence pointed that way.
Echo, no!
But until now, I never knew the full scope of their danger. That they could process organic matter into fuel, or that the Horus class could manufacture more robots. Like a cauldron on legs.
But the robots we've seen so far, the Corruptors and Deathbringers, they don't do those things.
Not yet, anyway. So far, we haven't encountered any that are undamaged. At full power, who knows what they're capable of?
Elizabeth told Ted Faro she was headed for a place called U.S. Robot Command to tell people about Zero Dawn.
The place still exists, as a ruin. The Asaram call it the Grave Horde.
Grave Horde?
Echo, fucking stop!
You'll find it in the eastern mountains, buried under the tangled coils of a metal devil, or a UR7 Horus, rather, as we're learning to call them. I'll contact you when you get there.
I can't wait. Someday we'll meet in person, and your manners have been well, getting down will be a lot faster than getting up here, at least. U.S. Robot Command next. To learn the secrets of Zero Dawn. No haze. White as
Time to go to Meridian, to the Sun Valleys. One part of Meridian I've been into, actually. Meridian Joe Mama. Rap, rap, rap. Oh shit, somebody texted me.
Don't pass up these.
Always stay bright, always stay alert. That's what I say. We all have our place in the order of things.
Greetings, Aloy. I am known as Blameless Murad. Please come with me. You're needed for an important consultation.
What do you mean? Where's Erend?
He's inside, attending the Sun King, where we should be without further delay. Follow me, please.
All of these people are here to see the Sun King.
Yes, and each has come to ask a favor of him. Unpleasant, but that's politics. The Sun King is eager to meet you, the machine tamer with a curious eye for detail. It's all very intriguing.
I'm not here to intrigue you.
Too late.
Passed by some Outlander woman? Unacceptable. I've been here for 2 hours, and this Nora goes to the front of the line.
Ignore them. Nobles are like children who whine when they don't get a second helping of dessert.
What's the Sun King like?
The most important thing is what he isn't like. His father. I think you'll find him to be a reasonable man.
Aloy of the Nora. She who sees the unseen. Welcome. It would seem you have done me a great service. Erend, tell her what you found.
I checked Ursa's tomb. You were right, Aloy. The body is missing a scar below her right knee. I gave it to Ursa when we were kids, fighting over a toy sword.
If the body is not Ursa's, then we must assume she is still alive. And I will not abandon her.
We only know she was taken, not who took her.
I can help with that. Ursa has an enemy among the Oseram. A warlord named Dervahl.
Impossible. Every clan in the claim has been hunting for him since the liberation. He has to be dead by now.
No other Oseram had the motive and ingenuity to lure Ursa into this trap. I expect to find him lurking somewhere near the border. I've already sent an agent to investigate. He'll be waiting for word from us at the marketplace in Pitchcliff.
I can't move troops to the border without provoking the Oseram. But I could send a few vanguardsmen. And perhaps an exceptionally gifted Nora as well. Erend, Murad, let me discuss it with her privately. I hate to impose further after all you've done, but this is a matter of great importance to me.
It sounds like Ursa means a lot to you.
Without her Oseram vanguard, I would not have been able to liberate Meridian and end my father's brutal reign. Since then, it has been difficult to maintain peace between our tribes. But Ursa has a way of making her people see reason. So you see, I need her back at my side. And quickly.
Who is Dervahl exactly?
To understand Dervahl, you must first understand my father. He truly thought of himself as a sun god. His mind was broken. He believed that blood sacrifice would solve, well, everything. So he raided the other tribes for victims, especially the Oseram. Dervahl fought back. He crafted powerful weapons and rallied his people. My father responded with the ultimate cruelty. He captured Dervahl's wife and daughter and sacrificed them in the Sun Ring.
The killers who attacked the Nora. I've discovered that they're a faction of Shadow Karja called the Eclipse. They're digging up ancient weapons. Machines that corrupt and control other machines. They want to use them to strike Meridian.
What you're saying echoes reports I've received from Murad, a Shadow Karja splinter group. Corrupted machines across the land. When will this attack come, do you know?
I'm not exactly sure.
Then we will do what we can to prepare. But in the meantime, Ursa is my highest priority. Please, help me find her.
So,
Echo,
why
no!
did Dervahl go to so much trouble to kidnap Ursa?
He felt she betrayed him. She fought by his side until she realized he planned to raise Meridian and butcher its people. Then she came to me. Together, we stopped him and liberated the city from my father. Dervahl has spent every moment since trying to get revenge. Mostly on the other Oseram who fought with us. He made so many powerful enemies. I thought we'd seen the last of him. I was wrong.
I'd like to ask you something about the Sundom and its politics.
By all means.
They call you a sun god who killed his own father in order to unite the tribes in harmony. Is any of it true?
They say you can see the invisible, split an arrow at 50 paces, and tame machines at a glance. How much of that is true?
It's not too far off.
Well, I would like to unite the tribes in harmony, but you saw how many courtiers I have to deal with first. Maybe next week.
Quite a place you've got here. You can almost see the little people below the mesa.
You don't approve? Well, I have a secret for you. Neither do I. But we must be patient. Change won't come in a single sunrise.
But will it happen at all, while men live in palaces?
It might. Eventually. If people like you help me bring it about.
Your politics seem very complicated. The Oseram are friends, but enemies too?
I couldn't have liberated Meridian without the help of Ursa and her Oseram freebooters. Many of them have settled here. But the Ealdormen of the Oseram clans in the Claim have become jealous of their success. So have many Karja nobles. It's a volatile situation, especially given the fact that my father raided the Oseram for years. Ursa helps keep the peace, promising a future based on mutual gain. But some, like Dervahl, will never let go of their venom.
What can you tell me about the Shadow Karja? What do they have to do with Ursa?
They are remnants of my father's regime, holding out at the fortress of Sunfall to the west. Like him, they care only for domination, and seek to draw upon the power of the sun by spilling blood in its name. Since Ursa helped me take this city from them, they were perfect scapegoats. Dervahl knew this, of course, and planned it well.
I need to get going.
I know. Well, they say kings should never beg. But please, help me find Ursa.
Who says that?
Murad, for one. Don't hesitate to ask him or Erend if you have further questions.
Aloy, how can I be of service?
It's obvious that you're an advisor to the Sun King, but what is it you do exactly?
Whatever is needed, of course.
Are you always so evasive?
It depends.
Sounds to me like you're a spy.
There are many helpful voices in the Sundom and beyond. I like to think of myself as a good listener.
So why do they call you Blameless Murad?
Well, it depends on who you mean by they, and what they might wish to blame me for.
Talking to you is tiring.
So they say.
You were right about Avad. He seems genuine.
He is the Sun King. I serve him the best I can. What else would you have me say?
Huh. Did you serve the last one as best you could too?
Well, I served him to his enemies. It was the best I could do for the Sundom.
What did you do?
Nothing I could be blamed for.
What will I find at the border?
An outpost full of Oseram, most of whom want nothing to do with Dervahl. Still, he inspires great loyalty in those who fought with him against the last Sun King. He will not be caught alone. And don't forget, he is a master craftsman. Nothing delights him more than his dangerous toys.
What makes you so sure Dervahl did this to Ursa?
I don't care for sure or certain. I prefer likely or probably. How many Oseram are clever enough for this ruse? Capable of building the weapon you described? Who hate Ursa so? More than one? Not likely. Dervahl? Quite probably.
Even if people think he's dead?
That is surely another reason to be suspicious of certain words.
I have to go.
Then you must.
So, I thought Ursa was dead, and I thought Dervahl was dead. Dead doesn't seem to mean what it used to. Or maybe I'm just an ass. Whatever. All I know is that it's time to find my sister and get some payback. I hope Murad's guy grabs us a lead.
Did Ursa ever tell you anything about Dervahl?
We were both under his command for a while. Sort of. Helped him recruit an army to take out the mad Sun King. But then he got real creepy with Ursa. Needless to say, she wasn't interested, but he wouldn't let it go.
Oh.
Not to mention the fact that we realized he wanted to murder every Karja, not just the bad ones. Long story short, he's a grazer-licking dumbbag.
Avad seems committed to finding your sister.
Yeah, those two got along. And some people say they shacked up, but I don't buy it. Seems a little skinny for her. Oh, okay, some bad images are forming in my head. Let's just focus on finding her. And kicking Dervahl's ass.
I'd better go.
Don't stand me up in Pitchcliff, okay? Ursa needs us.
This must be Pitchcliff. Murad's agent should be at the marketplace by now.
No sign of Murad's guy? He's had plenty of time to investigate.
We'd better look for him.
Damn right.
Well, someone left here recently, and they were in a hurry.
Has to be Murad's guy. Dervahl's thugs must have made him.
Maybe because he found something. Look at this. I think he drew a map with his own blood.
Right. Those kind of maps, you know you better follow.
That might be Pitchcliff. He marked a spot to the north. Could be Dervahl's location.
My men are waiting outside of town. I'll grab them and meet you there.
I'll tuck that away. Machines. Looks like they've been chained up.
Dervahl's a tinker. He probably experiments on them or strips them for parts.
Maybe I can use them to make some trouble. I'll go in first. Hold off until the fighting starts.
All right, we've got your back.
Dervahl's next. It's about to get over.
Lost him!
Nelson must be around here somewhere. Let's find her.
Dervahl says you gotta eat dirt.
She's right there, dipshit.
Ursa must be in there. We have to get through.
They must use these to protect themselves from that awful sound. Should give me the upper hand.
Ursa!
Aaron? Durval tried to break me. Shows what he knows.
I should have been with you. Why didn't you come for me? I know I'm a useless trunk, but...
No, idiot. I got a message from Durval saying he wanted to parlay. I didn't come for you because I knew it was a trap. I couldn't let you get hurt. Just didn't think it'd be that good a trap. Thought I could take him out. Now listen. Durval's planning something big in Meridian. He said he'd force Avad to watch as the smoke darkens their precious sun. Your king needs you. No more playing around. You're gonna have to grow up fast.
I will. I promise.
You damn well better, little brother.
Ursa. No, please. I won't let you down. I promise.
Aaron, I'm so sorry.
We've got to find Durval. But Meridian's a big place.
I'll look through his things. Maybe we can narrow it down. Just notes about crafting. And a letter tucked between the pages. Lots of blaze. Headed to Meridian. If we find it, I'll bet we find Durval too. I think I found something that can help. Let's head back to the palace.
Go. I won't be long, but I need to tend to my sister.
Scrabbling a bit.
For the vehicles, I should look at the vehicles later.
A shame a woman became Sunhawk of the Lodge.
Lenore, we're all born on a sunless day, if you ask me.
Arrested too for disorderly conduct.
Arrested too for disorderly conduct last night. You don't want to know this.
Watch out for the Oseram.
I've sent a messenger to the claim to let everyone know.
If there's anything you or your clan need for her arrangements, you need but ask.
There'll be time for all that later.
Aloy, I'm glad you're back. I'm at a loss about Ursa. To learn she lives, then lose that hope seems cruel.
She wouldn't want us to waste time talking. She'd want us to find Dervahl. She said he raved about smoke darkening the sun. Tell him what you found in his papers.
A letter. It mentioned a shipment of blaze being sent to a warehouse here. Only, it wasn't addressed to Dervahl. The name was Ayland Forgeman. Does that mean anything to you?
Sounds familiar. Yes, a landlord. The O.C.G have been buying up buildings across the city, including one under that name. Let me think. It's by the edge of the mesa, near the temple. Used to be a shop, but it could serve as a warehouse. If Dervahl used the name as an alias to buy it, he might even be there now.
I'll round up my men.
I'll meet you there.
Erend, wait. Remember that no one hates Dervahl more than your own tribe. The clans would give up much to obtain him.
Take him alive? So you can haggle over him? You can't be serious.
Our security depends on keeping the peace. If the opportunity presents itself, take him alive. Consider that a command. Aloy, a moment, please. When we spoke, Erend didn't wish to dwell on the details of Ursa's death. Understandable, of course. But now that they've been left to my imagination, those details are all I can think about. You were there. Did she suffer?
She wasn't worried about her pain. She was worried about her brother. And she was worried about you.
Thank you, Aloy. I suppose I needed to know I was as much on her mind as she is on mine. Find Dervahl and bring him before me. He will answer for his crimes.
Easier when I was a kid.
Everyone needs a splash of color in their lives. Come, let's talk it over.
Able-bodied adventurers, Preferably with no friends or family, but I'm not choosy.
This is the place. You home, Derval? I got a surprise for you.
Or he has a surprise for us.
Is it a bomb? Doesn't look too big.
Big enough to kill us.
All right. I'll shut up.
Blaze. It must be leaking from something upstairs.
That's a lot of blaze.
If that bomb downstairs goes off, it'll be just what Derval promised. Smoke will darken the sun as the city goes up in flames. There's gotta be a way to stop it. If we can get rid of it somehow, the blast will be much smaller. If we can get rid of it somehow, the blast will be much smaller.
So, is that thing gonna go off?
It looks like a wooden bracket. Not very strong. Help me push this out.
Okay. Brute force, I'm good at that. What'll it do?
Save the city, I hope. But when the blaze falls, run for it. Because the booby trap on the bomb downstairs is gonna get set off.
Will we survive?
Probably not. Now push.
We did it! Derval's best shot, and Meridian's still standing.
This isn't over. Derval said he'd make a VOD watch.
No way. To do that, he'd have to get it to the palace, and that's too heavily guarded.
Get back there, just to be sure. I'm gonna look around. Maybe Derval's men left something behind when they planted that bomb.
I got it. Don't worry. If he tries for the palace, he's finished.
Boot tracks, with just a bit of blaze in them.
Can I interest you in a reasonable
Hurry
share
up!
of a lucrative
Get to the fire and
opportunity?
shut up a bucket line!
Kings and war. What happened?
I haven't heard a blast like that since the liberation.
Let's have a chat. No, a colorful discussion.
There's smoke rising from the edge of the mesa. Are we under attack?
The tracks lead inside. Another one of Derval's hideouts. This must be where Derval assembled the detonator. He tunneled through the wall. Derval did find a way into the palace.
Wish I could be there to see the sun god on his knees.
Quit carping, you chuff. Someone's gotta guard the rear.
Someone better guard your rear.
Look at you, Avad. The wriggling runt of a maniac king. You robbed me of my right to kill your father, so I'll have to settle for you. I'm going to enjoy watching the Karja burn, even more because you'll be watching with me. Say goodbye to Meridian, Avad. Breathe in the stench and choke on the ashes. Something's wrong. I didn't hear anything.
There's a bit of smoke rising from the mesa's edge.
No! It should be a firestorm, not some belch from a charcoal burner! What's this? Oh. You must be the Nora who bushwhacked my camp.
And disabled your bomb.
Did you now? Well, bomb or no bomb, I'm gonna splatter that throne with blood. First yours, then Avad's. This is it for you. Why does Avad always have his ladies do the fighting? There! She's got above us! It's not over yet, Nora. Any good Oseram tinker will tell you. Always have a third plan.
Spotted.
I hope you like fighting these things, because there's more on the way. Ah! Those majestic, murderous flinthawks. Never do the work if you can get a machine to do it for you. Ah! Those majestic, murderous flinthawks.
Now's my chance.
Never do the work if you can get a machine to do it for you.
I hope you like fighting these things, because there's more on the way. Ah! Those majestic, murderous glinthawks! Never do the work if you can get a machine to do it for you.
As much as I wish Ursa was here to kill you, I don't mind doing it for her.
Go ahead. I'm not afraid. Except that knowing you, Aaron, you'll screw it up!
I know what you are afraid of. Going back to Mainspring in chains. Every clan in the claim wants you dead. And they know how to make it hurt. They'll even bid for the privilege.
It's just like you to get someone else to do your killing.
Shut up! You're at the Sun King's mercy now.
I'm pretty sure I'll lose the opportunity to talk to the rest of them if I don't talk to Dorwall first. I kind of want to see what Dorwall has to say. Sorry, look at my...
O.C.G was looking.
This Nora looks up.
A moment of your time, Outlander?
Fine goods.
Come to gloat, Nora. Well, as you can see, I'm busy. I get it. You want to rub it in? Well, it's not working. Ha ha! It's funny to pester the tinker in the cage. What a laugh! You think that bit of scrap on your brow makes you smart? I'll bet you couldn't have taken apart my bomb without it. Think I'm done? Think again. I've gotten out of worse scrapes. While the lunkheads in Mainspring dither over how to kill me, I'll dig myself out. Just you wait. When I get out of here, I'm gonna plant a thunderjaw lure in your bedroom. Gotta admit, it burns me that a savage tracked me down. Most Nora get confused by anything more than 2 sticks and a string. Don't you have something better to do? Like choke on a lance horn. You think that spear of yours is so fancy, but I could craft it blindfolded during a quick nap. Riding machines? Am I supposed to be impressed? Get one to serve me lunch, then I'll take notice. You're like a burr in a boot, you know that? Just so irritating. Hammer to steel. I hate you. Someday, I'm gonna build a machine with the specific purpose of pulling your braids out.
That's funny.
By the great flaming forge, just leave me alone, Red.
That was worth the trip down here.
Goods for a fair price.
Only the finest goods here. See for yourself.
A moment of your time, Outlander?
Find better words.
Aloy. I was just thinking about Ursa. She would have killed Dervahl on the spot. I know it. That's why she went out to meet him in the first place, to put him down. But she also told me to grow up. I gotta admit it burned a little when she said that, but I'm trying to take it to heart. And I guess growing up means putting what you should do in front of what you want to do. Right?
You're asking me? I'm pretty sure you're older.
Yeah, but I don't act like it, do I?
You did with Dervahl.
Don't give me too much credit. Part of me still wants to wait for a quiet moment and wring his neck.
Yeah, but you won't. Because you're a good captain.
Come on, stop. You're gonna make me tear up.
What do you think the Oseram will do to Dervahl?
First off, they'll argue about it for a long time. But whatever they come up with, it won't be quick. I can live with that. In fact, I might just drop by his cell under the sun ring to remind him what's coming.
So, after all this, what's next for errand vanguardsman?
Heading back to the claim for a while. I'll get in touch with my clan and we'll lay Ursa to rest properly. Like how she would have wanted. And by that I mean less chit-chat, more drinking.
Well...
I know, you gotta go. Killers to track, machines to master, all before breakfast. You know what? When we met, I thought I was a big shot talking to a pretty girl hidden away in the middle of nowhere. And now I see that I was just lucky to get a minute of your time. Try not to forget about me while you're out there changing the world.
I'll always have a minute for you. Maybe even two.
Two? Huh. She likes me.
Aloy, to say you have my gratitude feels woefully insufficient. You saved my life. You saved Meridian. And because of you, there will be justice for Ursa's murder. We can mourn her knowing the truth, without painful uncertainty. It's hard to imagine where we'd be without you. And I don't want to try. I hope you will consider staying in Meridian.
Were you and Ursa, you know...
I suppose it's obvious how I feel. How I felt about her. She didn't just give me advice. She gave me strength. But we couldn't be together. Relations between the Karja and Oseram and Meridian were unsteady as it was. The union of the Sun King and an Oseram warrior would have led to open revolt in the city. And probably war with the clans.
Did anyone know?
Only one. Dervahl. He wanted Ursa, but she rejected him. And so jealousy became yet another of his hateful motivations.
What exactly will happen to Dervahl?
For now, he'll languish in one of the old cells under the Sun Ring here in Meridian. As for what happens after we negotiate his extradition to Mainspring, I don't want to think about it. My father was very creative when it came to inflicting suffering. But some Oseram devices surpass even his imaginings. What a waste. Dervahl is a brilliant man. I wonder what he would have accomplished if it weren't for my father's cruelty.
I know who attacked the Nora. A faction of Shadow Karja called the Eclipse. They're digging up ancient machines, weapons they want to use to strike Meridian.
I see. What you're saying echoes whispers I've heard from Murad. A Shadow Karja splinter group, corrupted machines across the land. When will the attack come? Do you know?
I'm not sure yet.
And we will do what we can. Shall we talk some more?
Why do you want me to stay in Meridian?
Well, I would think that would be obvious.
Not to me.
Well, to start with, you kept the city from going up in flames. You were strong, shrewd, and capable. I could use someone like you at my side.
Thank you for the offer, but I don't think either you or I are ready for that. At least, not yet. I've got a long way to go before I find what I'm looking for, and it's gonna take me far from Meridian.
Of course. I didn't mean to presume. You are your own woman, just as Ursa was. But please, remember that you're always welcome here. I hope that today is just a sunrise for us, not a goodbye.
I have to go.
I understand.
The Grave War. Oh!
Easy, easy. They're inside too. I need this. Operation Enduring Victory. Whatever it was, doesn't seem to have turned out very well. Must have been where the soldiers slept. Like the Lodge of Mother's Heart, I guess. What was this place? Furnishings were metal. How'd they ever get comfortable? It was the metal world. Guess they were used to it. Just one bed. Maybe they're war chief's room. Specific interface. It must be some kind of code. Maybe I should try scanning objects in this area. Three power lines, 3 sources. That makes 1. That's 2. 1 more.
Hey, y'all wanted to know how I remember the geotherm system reboot? Goes like this. The bird flies north in summer, east in spring, west in fall, and south in winter. Didn't expect to hear nature poetry from the lips of Mike the GT Tech now, did you? As usual, I defy expectations. Hey, y'all wanted to know how I remember the geotherm system reboot? Goes like this. The bird flies north in summer, east in spring, west in fall, and south in winter. Didn't expect to hear nature poetry from the lips of Mike the GT Tech now, did you? As usual, I defy expectations.
Tools being used, and voices. More clips. Must be another way in.
Okay, got it.
It's
Okay.
them, all right.
Can't let me I can take a shit.
Answers. Just weapons.
She's here!
Damn it.
It's them, all right.
No, fuck.
It's them, all right. They're not looking for answers. Just weapons.
Come out wherever you are.
Give me a fucking break.
It's them, all right. They're not looking for answers, just weapons.
I can hear you, I think.
Alright, let's go, man.
Redouble your efforts. The shot.
Yeah, I am.
Lost him.
And I'm well on my way there. I've already done all of the collectibles. Already done most of the side quests. Then I'm gonna do the DLC for this because they didn't include it in the platinum, and then I'll do Forbidden West and get the platinum for that, among others. Forbidden West is a much longer game. Like, this is not exactly short, but Forbidden West is fucking huge. And I mean that in a good way. It's not padded out. It's longer, but it's longer in a good way. It's legitimately got more shit to do. Like, the map is about the same size as the one in this game, but it's like twice as dense. So I'm not going to be marathoning that one. I'll be doing that probably. It'll take me weeks to get the platinum for that.
Going down fast.
And then I'll finish it up with the DLC for Forbidden West, which is also massive and something I haven't played before. I'm not just playing this though, I'm still playing other stuff. I'm also trying to get the platinum for Resident Evil 7. Among others. And then Sea of Stars is getting a massive update on the 12th. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to play through that and plat it. I really like Sea of Stars. But it's getting a massive patch. That's like an overhaul of the game. It's basically Sea of Stars 2.0. And I already really like the game to begin with. And then it's getting a DLC next year. That's free for everybody. It's like a thing of support for the community. It's a huge DLC, so I'll be playing that. Yeah, I don't really know why. Single-handedly brought the series back from the dead. And all of Capcom's other games literally use the technology used for that. The engine that all of Capcom's games use now is called the RE engine. So even like games that aren't directly related to Resident Evil, like Monster Hunter, Devil May Cry 5, Dragon's Dogma 2, all use the tech that was invented with RE7. So, 7 is fucking fantastic. One of my favorite Resident Evils, honestly. And we're talking about sheer terror, it's probably the scariest one. For me, anyway. It's subjective, I'll say that much. But yeah, for me, it's the only Resident Evil game that, really, really fucking unnerved me.
What is this?
That? It's a map.
A map of what?
Our world. The planet Earth, Aloy. It's not flat like you thought.
Why would I think that? During eclipses, the shadow cast on the moon is curved. So our world is a globe. And it looks like this, from a distance.
We'll discuss this another time. Back to the matter at hand.
Well, dude. There's several places that you could start. RE2. Okay, sorry. Sorry. There are several places that you could start. You could start with the original Resident Evil, which you can literally play for free because it's on PS Plus Classic. That you might have to deal with data controls, but it's the start. You could play the remake of Resident Evil, which is a lot less dated, but still somewhat dated because it's GameCube 2002. Yes, his name is Lance Reddick, and he was General Zavala in that game and a bunch of others. He was also in Quantum Break. He sadly died last year. He's a major character in this game and its sequel. Like, he's a pivotal character. Yeah, they replaced him in Destiny. He died of a heart attack at 60 last year, suddenly, no warning. Yeah, they've replaced him with Keith Davids in Destiny. Still another great actor, but not Lance Reddick. So, he's pivotal to the plot line, so I'm pretty sure they're going to have to recast him in Horizon 3 as well. The DLC for Horizon 2 is literally the last game he ever did. He had just finished the recordings for Burning Shores, the DLC, when he died. So it was the last thing he ever did. Like, he died very suddenly. He literally had a heart attack in his sleep and died. So it wasn't like he was sick. He was fine, and then... So they fully intended on having him around for Horizon 3 and Destiny for the foreseeable future. Like, his death wasn't something that they planned for. They had, 1 second he's here, next second. So, yeah. I think it was March of last year. It sucks. He's a terrific actor. You may know him as Commander Zavala, but he had a career spanning 30 or 40 years. Like, he acted most of his life, and he was on a bunch of TV shows. In fact, TV is where he got his start. He was on The Wire. If you've ever seen The Wire, that's where he got his start and became a big name, and he mostly did television acting before he reached into gaming. Like, by the time he started doing gaming, he had already been a television actor for like 20 years. He did a lot of shows. And he has a one-of-a-kind kind of performance. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, exactly. He really was, and he had a very unique voice. You know what I'm saying? I don't know of anybody else with his voice, so like, you could identify him. He's one of a kind. It really sucks when people like that die, especially because, like I said, he is pivotal to the plot of this game. So it sucks. They're pretty much gonna have to recast him because, like, he's too pivotal. He's too pivotal to the plot to just take him from the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, they literally wrote the Horizon, at least trilogy, with him in mind as a pivotal character. He's one of the most important characters in the entire series. So I don't think they can just write him out and continue on. They're pretty much going to have to recast him. So it's going to be weird, but, kind of something they kind of have to do. They can't just throw off the entire production of the game and fuck everybody else out of a job because one guy, so... Definitely sucks, though. Wish he could have at least finished the third game, but,
The Faro robots were spreading across the world, eating everything up. Somehow, Elizabeth stopped them before it was too late. But how?
And he is... Yeah, back to Resident Evil, sorry. Okay, so... The way that it comes is this is basically how it's going to go down. The ones that I suggest you could start with, and I would give you an example, is as follows. The first Resident Evil, the very first, just get it out of the way, play through it on fucking PS5. You have it for free, it's part of PS Plus. It is outdated, but, you might be able to get past it, and it does have save states and rewind and shit like that. That's going to make it a lot easier for you, and I can also help you through it. The 2, do the remake of the first game. It's less dated, but still pretty dated. 3, start with the remake of 2, and 3, and 4. Those have the classic story, but they have much more modern gameplay. Or 4, you can start with 7. The plot of 7 is largely self-contained. It was meant to be a new start for the series, so you don't really need to know anything else about the other games to really get into and appreciate 7. There are references and Easter eggs and shit like that, but you can pretty much play 7 going into it blind. 7 is fantastic. Obviously, it's up to dealer's choice, but 7 for me was amazing. I'll probably wind up playing it sooner or later. I've been playing through it. You're probably going to catch me playing if you stick around long enough. I played the shit out of 7. I just decided recently that I was going to go for the platinum. Like, fuck it, you know, time to finally go for it. But I played it a lot. I literally got it at the midnight release when I was working at Walmart. I was one of the first people who got access to a copy because, you know, I worked there, so... I remember them rolling out a stack of copies. 7 is also in first person. Some people really like that, some people really hate that. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it because I like first-person games, and I think first-person is good for horror because it puts you in the shoes of the character, and they can mess with your perspective, so they can use all kinds of, you know, like, check your corners and shit. But a lot of people didn't want to play 7 just because it was first-person. I mean, it's done well. They knew what they were doing. It was worked appropriately. The shooting's good, the mechanics are good. It's just some people just literally didn't like it because it was first person. Like, it's good first person, but like there's some who just, oh, you know, it's Resident Evil third person. I don't want to play this. Wouldn't even give it a chance. Which sucks, but what are you gonna do? Resident Evil 8 is also first person, but they actually made a... Later on added a expansion that added an optional third person mode. And they put a lot of time into it. So for 8 you can do it either way. All new editions of 8 come with the DLC, so... Yeah. Although it gets a little bit tiring to me. Because, like, that's all anyone ever talks about with that game. I'm not attacking you, it just... Like, people act like the rest of the game doesn't exist. She's not even like the main villain. She's a villain. One of several. Like, she's a part of the game, she's a big part of the game, but she's not the only focus of the game. And it pissed people off when they played it, because they're like, I can't believe she's, you know, not in it more. They never said she was gonna be. Like, the RE8 has like 5 villains, she's the first. So she gets a chunk of the main story. She's not like a throwaway character, but you kill her, and then there's like a lot of other villains after her.
Need them soon enough.
But people just assumed that she was going to be the focus of the whole game. No. She's like, okay, there's Lady Dimitrescu. That's her name, Lady Dimitrescu. Then she has 3 daughters that you get to fight. So her underlings before the showdown with Mommy. 3 daughter siblings, vampires, of course. Then there's Lady Bienvento. She's a woman. She's a creepy puppet bitch who uses dolls. Then there's Moreau, who's like this weird fish person. And then finally there's Heisenberg. He's like this that has metallic powers. Like, he can control metal. He's like a sadistic Magneto. And then there's Mother Miranda, the final villain who rules over all under her clan. So there's a lot of fucking villains in that game. That's what I'm saying about it. Whenever anybody talks about RE8, that's literally all they mention. Like, she's cool, I get it, but it's like they drown out literally anything else about the game, and it's a great game. Just gets annoying. Like, you don't talk about the main character who's cool, the other villains who are cool, the gameplay, the awesome weapon selection, the mercenary mode where you can play different characters. Like, 8 has a lot to offer. Just sucks that they just, oh, big titties. And, you know, they could talk about her story, because, like, Lady Dimitrescu has, like, a very detailed backstory. She's been around for, like, 300 years. So you learn a lot about her, reading files, cutscenes with her. So it's not even they just talk about her, it's just titties. Oh my god, she's a big, super big goth mommy. Like, I get it. I understand the appeal, but I'm just saying, like, they could talk about other shit besides just that.
Watch out!
It's the same fucking problem that I have with Nier. Nier is fucking amazing. Like, Nier has so many things going on in it. One of my favorite game series, and yet all anybody ever fucking talks about when they talk about Nier is 2B. She's one of the most popular Rule 34 characters of all time. And she's not even really sexualized in the game. So, like, it's such a great series. No, it's not a Souls-like at all, actually. It's more like a DMC-inspired hack and slash, but with guns and robots. Like, imagine DMC if it was sci-fi, and you got a pretty good idea what Nier is about. But all anybody ever talks about is fucking Nier and her boobies. Like, Nier is so great. It has such a great story with so many layers. Like, there's a lot of really cool shit in Nier. And, 2B. And like I said, even in the story, she's not even, like, sexualized. She wears, like, a full outfit. She's not skimpy or anything like that. So it's weird how...
And this one can move.
Yeah, it's fantastic. If you're looking for another hack and slash like DMC, but playing an anime waifu in the future, it's great. That's what I'm saying, it's just exhausting because, okay, so Nier is a game that is unlike anything you have ever played or will ever play. It is a game that is fucking out there in an amazing way. They talk about slavery, sex, the nature of free will, what it means to be human, how we deal with aliens. Like, the series deals with a lot of shit, a lot of philosophical stuff. And it actually has good writing, okay? So, like, Nier's a game that will really make you stop and think about shit. It has great twists, and it has a lot of really mind-bending shit. It plays around with genres, okay? You'll be fighting in a hack and slash section like the rest of the game, then she'll turn into a jet, and it will be a top-down shooting segment with the twin sticks, aiming and shooting. Or you will be playing it and come across a mansion, and then it will almost turn into a survival horror game for a while. It's a really fucking weird game that's out there and breaks the fourth wall a lot. And you've never played anything like it. It's a mixture of fantasy, future, deep shit, comedic relief, because there's silly characters, weird shit, horror, action, like, there's nothing quite like Nier. And yet, to hear anyone talk about Nier, all it ever is, 2B, jerking off to 2B. In fact, 99% of people who know about 2B, who talk about her, who lust after her, or say she's my favorite waifu, have never even fucking played Nier. Her, like, 2B has become such a big thing, she's eclipsed the fucking game series. Most people can't even tell you where she comes from.
Another collision, and this one can move.
And that's why I get upset. Because it's such a great game series, man. And all it's been reduced down to fat material on the internet. Like, we don't already have so much fat material on the internet. Okay? If we're gonna break it down, the internet is basically cat pictures and videos, porn, and arguments. Wow, really? So, you know, and I had never heard about Nier, and I randomly played the first game, okay? Which, by the way, the game that she's in is not even the first Nier game, okay? It's the second. There's two Nier games, Nier Replicant and Nier Automata, okay? Most people don't even know the first game fucking exists. I didn't. And then I found out the first game, I played it, I was fucking blown away. I'm like, this is so good, why have people not talked about the first Nier? And then I got the second game, because I liked the first one so much. And I'm like, wow, there's so much more to this. Like, I just thought this was like a big anime booby hack and slash. And that's not at all. Like, the game doesn't even sexualize at all. She doesn't wear skimpy clothing. They don't make comments about fucking her. Like, the game isn't even like that at all. It was so different from what I thought. And then it was frustrating to me because I would go online to try and talk about Nier, and all I would get is people talking about boobies and jerking off to her. So, you know, if you like futuristic stuff, anime waifus, hack and slash, DMC shit, I would strongly recommend Nier. And you can get both of them pretty cheap for now, actually. How the fuck you're supposed to be able to do death from above? What the fuck? Oh well. I guess it doesn't work from that. Oh well. But it's great. Like I said, you can probably get both of them for like $20. And I think they may even be on PS Plus. At one point they were, I know. Who knows now? I don't keep up with that shit, but they could be.
Another Kobish. And this one can move.
Yeah, and you know, like Bayonetta leans into the sexualization, you know what I mean? So, like, I can understand people fapping to Bayonetta. The game wants you to talk about it. Like, they call attention to it. Other people talk about fucking her. They make dick jokes. Like, it's tongue-in-cheek. It is what it is. But Nier is different. They don't really ever call attention to her appearance. That's just purely the fans. You can play either. I'd recommend that you play the first game first, but you don't need to play the first game to appreciate the second. Just so you know. It has references and stuff like that, but it's mostly standalone. It's more of like a spiritual successor, taking the ideas and has some references, but if you just want to play the second game, you can. But they're both awesome, and they're both different. They're not just the same. Nier 2 is very different from Nier 1. Nier 2 is more sci-fi, whereas Nier 1 is more fantasy. They have a much stronger emphasis on fantasy in the first Nier. So they're almost like different genres. So they're very different, but they both have similar ideas, if that makes sense. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, well, when you get a chance, you should definitely play it. Bayonetta is different. You really should play Bayonetta 1 before you play Bayonetta 2. Which it is on Switch, so I don't know what's stopping you from playing the first Bayonetta. Oh, don't say physical copy. You fucking summon Max. And then he'll give me another lecture about how physical is superior media. And then not be able to afford a game that he likes that's old, because somebody scalped it. You'll summon Max. I love Max, I really do, but like sometimes I want to wring him around the fucking neck, and I've told him this because like it's like, dude, I know your feelings, okay? I know your feelings on physical media. You have told me this, okay? Like I swear to God, like I could probably tell you Max's thoughts on physical media better than he could at this fucking point.
No space.
Okay, the horse is not dead. The horse is beaten into a fucking oblivion. He's not beating a dead horse, okay? He's obliterating it. He's killed its family. He's wiped its lanes off the face of the map. Plus, I was thinking it's funny. Max is all about jailbreaking shit. Like he's all about jailbreaking shit, and he couldn't do any of the jailbreaking stuff that he's done and download all those games without digital media. So, like, literally the stuff that he enjoys using wouldn't be possible, you know? You pretty much have to use online files, online shit, and the games that you play that are pirated are digital. So, you're not gonna, you know, you can't really burn discs with games anymore, and even if you could, it would be so prohibitive, you basically have to open a factory. Like, it's just not a thing. You pirate games, you get them digitally.
Thank you, Dr. Sobek. You can take a seat. What? You're going to thank her after what she just said? Dr. Sobek has made the situation very clear, General, and given us an option. We should all be thanking her. No, it's just... I mean, my God. Maybe take this discussion offline. There's not going to be any discussion. You saw the numbers. Now, Pharaoh, he'll foot the bill, but his money can't buy the time necessary to complete Zero Dawn. That can only be paid for in blood. Oh, come on. If we upgrade our fleet, crack the code somehow...
Were you not listening? Robots can't do the fighting for you this time. When it comes to hacking, this rogue swarm is an apex predator. Anything automated you throw at it, they will hijack and take over.
But this... we'd be throwing civilians into a meat grinder. Commanders, the enemy we're facing self-replicates faster than we can kill it. And it eats biomass as fuel. Zero Dawn is all we've got. So we put a railgun in the hand of every civilian strong enough to carry one, show them where the trigger is, and point them to the front? How the hell do we sell that? By giving them something to fight for. Zero Dawn. The top-secret super-weapons program that will save us. So long as humanity holds off the swarm long enough for Dr. Sobek and her team to finish it. The file I'm sending contains the war plan for Operation Enduring Victory. War plan? This is a war crime. It may be ugly, but it's something. Consider the alternative. Dr. Sobek, I've secured use of a decommissioned orbital launch base outside Bryce, Utah as the Zero Dawn staging area. Plenty of space there. When can you get started?
I've already mailed you a list of Alpha and Beta candidates. Most are foreign nationals or subjects of corporate holdings, so extracting them...
Leave that to me. You'll get your dream team. Count on it.
Then I'll be off.
The actual lore in this game is fucking amazing. That's what I'm talking about. The Zero Dawn stuff is super compelling. As soon as they start getting into this shit, the story takes a massive fucking leap upwards in quality.
What did these people do? What did Elizabeth do? Glad to be rid of that place. Now I just need to find the orbital launch base they talked about.
I've checked my data and located the base. That's the good news.
And the bad?
It's directly underneath the Citadel. The palace at Sunfall.
The capital of the Shadow Carja. Not exactly convenient.
The palace is crawling with Eclipse agents. Many in positions of authority, all of them wearing focuses. The moment they see you, Hades will too. He'll issue another kill order, and this time, the entire Shadow Carja military will be after you.
So, disable their focuses. You've done it before.
It's not that simple. Too many focuses in one place, each of them communicating with each other and back to Hades, a whole network of them.
Network? What's that?
Imagine a vast, invisible web stretched across the land from end to end, connecting focuses to...
Yes, explain the internet to her.
...communicate over vast distances instantaneously.
Alright, so is there some way to...
You get cat pics and you jerk off to it, Alloy. You'll love it.
Crash the network.
Oh, and you write fanfiction.
Yes, there is a way. A weak point in the network.
Point the way.
I'll send the location data to your focus. Head there, and I'll be in touch when you're close with more directions.
What was Zero Dawn? What sort of super weapon did Elizabeth make? She stopped the machines. Not before the world she knew, her civilization, ended. Let's hope it won't come to that again. I gonna get down from here? Oh, this should be quite the ride.
Oh, is there like a thing I should have taken? Fuck.
Now, how am I gonna get down from here?
Okay.
Oh, this should be quite the ride. I'd do that again, if it weren't so much work to get back up there.
Alright, I'm gonna end this part here, and I'm gonna be back. Oh, wait. No, okay. Sorry. What are you saying? There's no way what? Oh, yeah. Yeah, they just added that. Anyway, I'm gonna take a short break, probably get something to eat. I'll be back.